Okay, so we're still on the fats and oils. Wait, what is this like? I said we're still on the fats and oils. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so saturated fats are known to be worse for your health than unsaturated. Saturated fats tend to be solid at room temperature, and they're the animal fats. So they come from animal products like meat and dairy are the most common. Solid at room temperature. Butter. Solid at room temperature. This is the size. And here you can see it's saturated. There's no double bonds, so it's straight up unsaturated, causes the molecule to bend. Generally speaking, unsaturated fat's better for you than saturated. So you could replace like butter with olive oil. Olive oil's good.
Yeah, I like butter. Butter makes your skin like.
Or like nuts are a good source of fat, but they're the good fat. Avocados are good fat. Ready?
No.
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 Yes.
High levels of yes. What is LDL?
Low density.
Are you done? Yeah, I'm done.
Oops. Okay, and then what we usually think of as fats are triglycerides. So these are the fats in animals that help with insulation. So a walrus that has to swim around in very cold water is going to have a lot of triglycerides because it provides energy storage. And warm-blooded animals have to make their own heat. They generate their own heat, and so they rely on those triglyceride stores to generate heat. It's actually much more efficient at storing energy than carbohydrates are.
I can't. I can't just sit here and do this. I still can't do it.
Oh, here's the shape of a triglyceride. What does tri mean? The prefix 3, right? So there's 3 fatty acids. Remember, you can recognize a fatty acid because there's just the chains of carbon, and then they're connected by a glycerol. I should be up here. So it's sort of like an E. The backbone of the E is the glycerol, and then the 3 branches are the fatty acids. Okay, then the waxes are found in nature. They coat and protect things. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So some plants have a waxy coating. It keeps too much water from evaporating. And then they can also be used in structures. If you've ever chewed on honeycomb,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, very waxy.
We did that before the school year. Yeah, last year. We were outside on the track and we were eating. Yeah, I remember that. Yep, I do too.
Where did you get it?
It's like out on the track. There's like a plant. And it's like growing on and it like hangs over it. That's where it is.
I wonder why.
The beans in mine? The beans in mine?
Whenever we were there was good. Don't even. Yeah, don't check that.
I won't. I can go back at the end of the meeting.
Randy, you better get that. If I want to tell you a secret, I can tell you. Yeah, you'd be like, what do you mean?
Ready?
No.
Stop talking.
Start. Okay.
Start. We start on the next slide,
I
okay, it's time.
Whoa. At the last experience. People know how to listen. Honeycomb, what?
No.
Keep what? Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are we gonna do this tomorrow?
No, we're gonna do the last one. Yeah. Okay, so next is phospholipids.
What?
Guys, if you want to get done, I'm not talking while you're talking. All right, so you might remember these from the video. They make up the cell membrane. The round part is the phosphate, and then the two little tails are hydrocarbon tails. And so one of these is one phospholipid. We call the cell membrane a phospholipid bilayer because there's two layers of phospholipids. The heads point away from each other and the tails point towards each other. And that's because this outside and the inside of the cell are very watery, and phosphate likes water, but hydrocarbons do not. So they point towards each other to avoid the water because they're hydrophobic. And then the phosphate dissolves and interacts with the water. And the cell membrane is what goes around every single cell. Okay, no matter what kind of cell it is, it's going to have a membrane around it. So that's what a phospholipid is. And then I think there's one more type. Ready?
Yeah.
So the steroids. And these are easy to recognize because it's always four rings joined together. Sometimes there's stuff branching off of them. but steroids are always 4 rings. And at each point, they don't show you the details, but each point is a carbon. So these are carbon rings. Steroids do a whole bunch of things. Cholesterol is a type of steroid. Some cholesterol is good. Some is bad.
What is cholesterol?
I'm stopping, guys, when you're talking.
Oh my god. Wait, what is cholesterol?
Cholesterol is a type of steroid that can be found in the blood.
I don't even know what I thought it was.
Okay, guys, we're gonna start staying after class. Found in the cell membrane and certain amount in your blood too. Maybe we'll see.
Is that it?
Ready?
No. Okay.
All right, so we talked about saturated and unsaturated fat. One of the problems with saturated fat is it's used to raise cholesterol levels. And the bad kind of cholesterol is what clogs your arteries and can lead to heart disease. So that's why you want to watch saturated fat. Now, a lot of people think saturated fat is at least natural, it's found in nature, as opposed to trans fats, which I believe are almost banned, if they're not banned. Trans fats are especially bad because they're not natural and your body just doesn't know what to do with them. So they just kind of sticks them in your arteries. So it's a lot more damaging. So everything in moderation. You don't want to overdo the fat. You don't want to overdo the artificial ingredients.
Oh man. Just gotta make sure I put my best hat free about straight spinning. My best friend and my brother in the same problem. Sarah, best friend, but I
Anyway, I gotta go. See y'all in the next video, if possible. Sorry that it's kind of boring here. Say hi. Whoa! I'm making a YouTube video. Good for you.